Hello guys. In the last lecture what we saw is how we can manipulate the block diagram so that we can simplify it and we can get the desired transfer function. So in this lecture I'll solve some problems that have appeared in GATE examination so that you get a fair idea of what kind of block diagrams can be asked in GATE examination and what techniques you can use to simplify them. So let us begin with our first problem. So this is a block diagram that has been given to me and I need to find the transfer function CS upon RS. Okay, so here the problem with this block diagram to simplify is basically I cannot combine these two blocks because of this takeoff point. Okay, these two blocks cannot be combined because of this takeoff point, otherwise they would have been in cascade if this takeoff point was not there. So what I can do is I can shift this takeoff point here, that is shifting the takeoff point after the block. Then what would happen to the block diagram? It would be RS, then plus minus G1, then plus minus. Now these two will come in cascade. It would be G1, G2. This would be the feedback H2. And here we will have another feedback. But now since I have shifted this takeoff point after the block, so we have to divide this takeoff point transfer function by the block transfer function, that is it will be H1 by G3. If you remember the last lecture, I told you whenever we shift it after the block, we will take 1 by G. Okay. Now if you see, this is a simple feedback loop, and then this feedback loop is in cascade with this block, and again we have a feedback loop. So calculating the transfer function for first feedback loop is G2 G3 forward transfer function over 1 plus, because of this negative feedback, 1 plus G2 G3 H2. Okay, now this entire loop is in cascade with this, so it will be G1 G2 G3. In cascading we will multiply the transfer function of different blocks. Now this entire transfer function is in feedback loop with H1 by G3, so transfer function would be forward 1 G1 G2 G3 over 1 plus G2 G3 H2 over 1 plus G2 G1 G2 G3, or let us take some more space, it would be G1 G2 G3 over 1 plus G2 G3 H2. This will be the forward transfer function over 1 plus because of negative feedback, G1 G2 G3 over 1 plus G2 G3 H2 into the feedback is H1 by G3. We transformed this to H1 by G3 when we shifted it after the block. So this G3 will get cancelled out. So the entire transfer function that would remain is basically G1 G2 G3. We will take this as LCM, 1 plus G2 G3 H2 plus G1 G2 H1. Okay, so the most important technique or most important thing that you need to remember in block diagram algebra is the feedback loop. Okay, feedback loop would be most commonly encountered. Even in the chapters that we are going to study further, you need to remember the transfer function of a closed loop system, that is G upon 1 plus GH for a negative feedback, G upon 1 minus GH for a positive feedback. So here just one trick was involved, that was shifting this takeoff point to the output. Okay, you may try another methods also, but this one seemed feasible to me and it's the simplest one. Okay, because just one operation we needed to perform. Other than that, it was only about the feedback system. Okay, moving on to our next problem. Here we have been given several blocks. Again we need to find the transfer function. So here integrator, as we remember when we do integration, that is minus infinity to t xt dt, the Laplace transform of this is xs by s. So transfer function of an integrator is ys is equal to xs by s. Transfer function of an integrator is ys by xs is equal to 1 by s. So in Laplace domain, this integrator can be replaced by 1 by s, 1 by s. Okay. Now if you see, this is a feedback loop. This is also a feedback loop. So we can take the feedback transfer function, that is 1 by s divided by 1 plus 3 by s, and it will be 1 by s 1 plus 12 by s. So it will be 1 plus 1 upon s plus 3. It would be 1 upon s plus 12. Okay. Now these two block and this gain of 2, these are in cascade. So what I can do is 1 upon s plus 3, s plus 12 into 2. So this will be 2 upon s plus 3, s plus 12. Now this entire block is in feedback with this 9 path, and that to a negative feedback. So just we can apply the negative feedback equation, which is forward path transfer function upon 1 plus 2 into 9 over s plus 3 s plus 12. Okay, this is the simple equation for the feedback loop. Now if we simplify it, it would become 2 upon s square plus 15s plus 54, or 2 upon s plus 6 into s plus 9. So this would be my transfer function for this block diagram. Okay. So here if you see, it was only a matter of cascading and the feedback loop. So feedback loop, you can assume in every question you have to encounter a feedback loop. Okay. But you remember the transfer function of a differentiator would be s, and for an integrator it would be 1 by s. Moving on to the next problem. Here we have been given two feedback loops. So let us first simplify the inner loop, this loop. Here forward path is 10 upon s plus 1. Feedback path is s. So transfer function would be g upon 1 plus g h. Okay. So it would be 10 by s plus 11. Now this would be in feedback loop with this one path. Now this would become my g, this would be g, and h would be 1. It will be unity feedback. So transfer function would be 10 upon s plus 11, 1 plus 10 upon s plus 11. So it would be 10 upon s square plus 11s plus 10. Okay. This would be my entire transfer function of this block. So just here two feedback loops are given. Whenever such kind of feedback structure is given, first simplify the inner loop, then only simplify the outer loop. Okay. In the next problem, we are again asked ys by rs. Now let us assume the signal here to be xs. So here it would be xs upon s plus 1. Here it would be xs upon s plus 1. Now it is positive sign here. It is negative. So let us say the signal here as, let us say zs. So zs would be xs upon s plus 1 minus xs upon s plus 1. So it would be 0. So the signal that is being fed back here is 0. So now here I know xs is equal to rs minus zs. It is equal to rs. So ys is equal to rs by s plus 1 from this equation, and I can say that ys by rs is equal to 1 by s plus 1. Okay. So the common misconception amongst the student in this problem can be, since similar blocks are being subtracted, here minus sign, here plus sign, the output would be 0. But this output would be 0, the output of the summer, not this. Ys will not be 0, but rather the output of the summer would be 0. So that you need to take care here, the output will not be 0, because in the options, one option would be definitely 0. Okay. In the next problem, again we need to find the transfer function. So if you observe, this is a feedback loop, this is also a feedback loop. So now I am directly writing this, whatever be the equivalent, it would be G1 over 1 plus G1. Next would be G2 over 1 plus G2. And this will be a like this, and here we will have a feedback path of this sort. Okay. Now if you see, the gain of this path is 1 and it is G2 over 1 plus G2. That means they both are in parallel. So it would be G2 over 1 plus G2 plus 1. So it would be 1 plus 2G2 over 1 plus G2. That means I can remove this entire path and replace it by a single transfer function, that is 1 plus 2G2 over 1 plus G2. Now these both systems are in cascade. So whenever the two systems are in cascade, their transfer functions would be multiplied. So what I can write is, replace this block by a single block, that is G1 1 plus 2G2 over 1 plus G1 1 plus G2. Now this is simply a feedback configuration, unity feedback. So the transfer function would be simply forward path transfer function, that is G1 1 plus 2G2 over 1 plus G1 1 plus G2 over 1 plus GH okay, it would be like this. Now taking the LCM, it would be 1 plus 2G2 divided by 1 plus 2G1 plus G2 plus 3G1 G2. This would be my transfer function of this block diagram. So here we had only cascading, feedback and the parallel connection. So the basic connections are very common. You rarely need to shift the takeoff point or the summer. Those are very complicated operations and they do rarely appear in the gate examination. But definitely you must attempt one or two problems on each rule so that you are very well aware how you can implement a rule when it comes to solving a problem. Okay. Now in this problem, in the system shown in the given figure, we need to eliminate the effect of disturbance ds on Cs. Okay. First of all, I told you that transfer function is only applicable for SISO system, single input, single output. Now if we are talking about disturbance, then Rs should be 0. If we are talking about ds, then we have to consider Rs to be 0. Now let us see what signal is coming here. The signal that is coming here, let us say xs. Xs is equal to ds into gds. This would be my xs. Rs is 0 here. So signal that is coming here, let us say ys. Ys is Rs minus xs. Since in transfer function we can consider only one input, it would be 0 minus xs, that is minus ds into gds. So let us consider here the signal as zs. So zs would be, it would be ys into the blocks were s by 5 by s plus 10, 10 upon s plus 5, s plus 5 upon s plus 10. Since they both are in cascade, so they will be multiplied. So it would be ys upon s plus 10, and ys is equal to minus ds gds upon s plus 10. Okay, it was like this only, minus ds into gds. Okay, this is 10 also would be here, so 10. Okay, now if you see Cs is basically ds minus ds plus zs. So CS is ds plus zs equal to ds 1 minus 10 GD upon s plus 10. Now I told you we need to eliminate the effect of disturbance on CS. That is, CS should not depend on disturbance. That means this term should be 0 because the component of ds in CS should be 0. It implies GD would be equal to s plus 10 upon 10. This would be my GD transfer function. Okay. So this is how, if we are eliminating the effect of any parameter on system, then we need to take the transfer function between those two things as 0. If the transfer function is 0, that means the effect of certain parameter is not reflected on the output of the system. Moving on to the next problem. Here there is single forward path and we have two feedback paths, one with positive sign, other with a negative sign. So what we can do is, since both are feedback, we can combine them in parallel. So it would be, let us say we take negative sign, so it would be h minus f. Because h is with the negative sign, f is with the positive. If we are taking net negative, it would be h minus f. Forward path is g. So closed loop transfer function would be g upon 1 plus g h minus f. It would be g upon 1 plus gh minus gf. Okay, this would be my transfer function of this entire block. So here we had to do parallel operation and the closed loop system. In the next problem, again we need to find CS by RS. But the problem here is, we cannot identify a closed loop. Like, I cannot say this is a closed loop because this S inverse is common with A. So let us say if signal XS is here, signal here would be XS by S. So if I redraw this block diagram, something like this. Okay, this is fair. Here I take again S inverse. Okay, so here they will be summed. Rather, let us draw it someplace else. So suppose if I redraw this if I redraw this block diagram as RS, so here it will be S inverse and here it will be B. Okay, here I am again taking S inverse, here it will be A, and this would be in a summer. Okay, now how I have done this is, if signal is XS here, it will be XS by S at this point, and if it is XS here also, because these both are shorted, so it would be XS by S here. So entire operation of the system is not changing. Whatever the signals were earlier, the signals are same here. But now the benefit that I am getting is, this is a feedback loop and this is a parallel path. Okay, so transfer function of feedback loop would be 1 upon 1 plus B by S. Transfer function of parallel path would be 1 plus A by S. And these both blocks will be in cascading. If you see about this line, these both blocks are connected in cascade. So it would be S upon S plus B. It would be A plus S upon S. If we multiply, these both are S upon S plus B, S plus A by S. It would be S plus A divided by S plus B. This would be my entire transfer function. So this is how I separated this block diagram into a parallel path and a feedback loop. I had to replicate a single block to convert it into two cascaded blocks. Okay, so this how I have done is, because I have kept the signals at each and every node same. Whatever the signals were there at any point, the signals are same in this case. So this transformation is valid. In the next problem, we need to find the transfer function. So this is a feedback loop. This is also a feedback loop. So transfer function of feedback first is g1 upon 1 plus g1 h1. Of second it would be g2 upon 1 plus g2 h2. Now these both are connected in cascade. So T would be T1 into T2. That would be g1 g2 over 1 plus g1 h1 1 plus g2 h2. This would be my transfer function of entire block diagram. Moving on to the next problem. Here again we need to find the input output relationship. So here if you see, this is a parallel path. This is also a parallel path. But the problem is the signal that is going in this parallel path is RS, not the output of this system. Okay. So we cannot directly separate these two blocks as two parallel paths. No. The first can be written as something like RS. It would be G1 plus 1. Then it would be G2 going into a summer. And here the other signal in summer is RS. Okay. That means G1 plus 1 and G2 are in cascade. And then they are in parallel with 1. So do not make a mistake that there are two parallel paths which are in cascade. One parallel path, then cascade, then another parallel path. This is because the signal in another parallel path is RS instead of the first output. If the output of first system is input of second, then only they are in cascade. But here output of first system is one input, other input is RS. The output of first system is not the input for the second system. So it would be 1 plus G2 plus G1 G2. This would be the transfer function. So do not make a mistake that these are two parallel paths in cascade. It is one parallel, then cascade, then another parallel path. Moving on to the last problem. Here again we need to find ys by xs. So if you see, this is a positive feedback loop. So let us call it as T1. T1 would be G2 over 1 minus G2 H1. Okay, minus sign because of positive feedback. So then it would be like this. G1, then T1, and then H2. Okay. So the transfer function would be G1 T1 over 1 plus G1 T1 H2. So G1 into T1 would be G1 G2 by 1 minus G2 H1 over 1 plus G1 G2 H2 over 1 minus G1 H1. So it would be, simplify it, it would be, numerator would be G1 G2 over 1 minus G2 H1 plus G1 G2 H2. This would be the transfer function of the entire block diagram. So if you see, we can simplify the block diagram using simple techniques like cascading, parallel connection, feedback, but these were very simple block diagrams. Okay. When it comes to solving a complicated block diagram, then this block diagram algebra becomes a bit more complicated and bit more non-trivial. That is, it is difficult to see which point to shift where. So then another technique comes in handy, that is the signal flow graph. In the next lecture, we'll see how signal flow graph technique can be applied for finding the transfer function.